Namaste, beautiful yogis. This is gonna be an intermediate class suitable for beginners and advanced students with modifications, moderate flow. Let's begin at the front of the mat, rolling the shoulders back and down, observing the breath, being present and aware of the breath. A few more deep inhalations, followed by complete exhalations. And let's inhale the hands slowly out to the sides, opening the chest, allowing the shoulders to relax. Reaching through the fingers. And inhale all the way over the head, reaching towards the sky. Extending the tailbone down, grounding through the heels, through the feet. And let's clasp the hands and reach over to the left and over to the right, stretching the sides of the body, stretching the obliques, opening, lengthening. And back to center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, folding halfway down and all the way down. Bending the knees slightly, and you can wrap your elbows around your wrists and allow your body to hang like a rag doll over the knees, over the legs. And let's bring the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers or grabbing the wrist if you cannot interlace the fingers. Reaching the hands away from the back and back. Bring your hands down on the floor. Step one leg at a time back into plank, strong core, open chest, strong heels projecting through your heels towards the back of your room. And slowly lower down chaturanga. Inhale, open upward facing dog, pressing the feet down into the floor. Back to chaturanga, back to downward facing dog, lifting the tailbone up as high as you can, grounding through the fingers, grounding through the palms of your hands. And let's inhale the right leg up and stack the hips on top of each other. Open the right knee as high as you can towards the ceiling. And try to find openness in your hip. We're beginning to open the hip to find fluidity in the body. And let's square the hips. And bring the right knee between the elbows. Inhale, bring the right knee between the elbows and exhale your leg behind you. One more time, bring the knee between the elbows. Hold. Lift it as high as you can. And exhale, bring your leg all the way behind you. And step it back down on the floor. And let's inhale, left leg comes up. Left hip rose on top of the right hip, lifting as high as you can. The knee is lifted. And breathe. Breathe into your hip. Beautiful. And let's bring the hips square with the floor. Left knee comes in between the elbows and back. Exhale, squeeze the knee between your elbows. Inhale, reach through your heel. Exhale, bring your knee between your elbows. Hold your breath in and squeeze your knee as high as you can. And lift all the way behind you. Step your foot back down on the floor, coming into downward facing dog. And let's walk the feet between the hands. Exhale. Inhale. Come halfway up and all the way up to standing. Hands over the heart. And let's take a big breath in. Inhale the hands over the head. Exhale, folding into forward bend. Inhale, look ahead of you. And let's bring the hands on the floor, stepping into plank. Keeping the hips parallel with the floor. Pressing the heels away from you. Squeezing the inner thighs towards the midline. And chaturanga. Inhale. Inhale, roll the shoulders back and down, tucking the tailbone under and lengthening the whole back side of the body, lengthening the back of your neck here. Look up or look ahead of you. Coming back into Chaturanga, and let's exhale back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right leg comes up. And let's bring the right knee towards the right elbow. 1. Right knee towards the right elbow. 2. Right knee towards the right elbow. And hold. Pause here. Squeeze the knee as close to your elbow as you can. And back into plank. One-legged plank. One-legged down dog. And let's step the right foot between the hands. Come up into high lunge. And let's open the arms out to the sides and twist to your right. The fingers are reaching away from each other. Let's lower the left hand on the floor on the inside of the right foot and lift your right arm all the way up and over the head towards the front of the room, creating a long line. Let's bring both hands on the floor, stepping into plank or one-legged plank and upward facing dog. And back to Chaturanga and exhale, downward facing dog. And let's inhale the left leg all the way up and bring your left knee towards the left elbow. 1. Let's bring the left knee, left elbow. 2. And last one, left knee, left elbow. Hold. Pause here. Use your core muscles. Stay steady, stay strong, and back to one-legged plank. Left leg hovers over the ground, and let's step it between the hands into lunge. Reaching over the head, coming into high lunge, and we're gonna open the hands out to the sides. And let's twist facing the left leg here. You can look behind you. And we're gonna lower the right hand on the inside of the left foot, keeping the legs strong in your lunge here. They're still working. Reaching over your head. And let's reach towards the front of the room with the right arm. Lower down into plank. Stepping back all the way into plank. Strong core, gazing a few inches in front of us, and let's lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog, back to Chaturanga, and let's exhale in downward facing dog. Really paying attention to the breath, connecting with the breath, and moving with the breath. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Let's take one foot at a time. Step them between your hands, coming into forward bend. You can hug your calves here. You can hug your legs. Take a few breaths in forward bend. Inhale. Bend your knees and come up into chair pose. Reach over the head. And come all the way up into mountain pose, hands over the heart. And one more time, chair pose. Exhale, hands on the floor, straightening the legs. Inhale, look ahead of you, and let's step into plank. Lower down Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, lifting, opening the chest. Back to Chaturanga. Exhale in downward facing dog. Drawing the belly in. Inhale, the right leg comes up. And we're gonna bring the knee towards the opposite elbow. Inhale back, right knee, left elbow. Inhale back, exhale, right knee comes towards the left elbow, hold. Stay strong. Inhale all the way back. And let's step the foot between the hands. Lower the opposite foot down and come up, warrior one, vira one. Lifting, opening, reaching, breathing. And let's bring the hands down on the floor. Stepping back into plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga and exhale in downward facing dog. And let's take the left leg up. Keep the hips square, keep the hips level, and let's bring the knee towards the opposite elbow and back, and towards the opposite elbow and back. And last time, left knee, right elbow, and hold. Hold, look ahead of you, stay strong. Your abs are working, and back. And we're gonna step the left foot between the hands, lower the right heel down on the floor and come up, warrior one. Gorgeous. Holding warrior one, extending the tailbone towards the floor, pressing into the outer edge of the right foot here, bending the left knee. Stay with your breath. One more breath. Exhale your hands all the way on the floor, stepping into plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, vibrant breath in. Upward facing dog, back to chaturanga, and exhale in downward facing dog. Pull the belly in and up. Allow the face muscles to relax. Inhale, right leg comes up. And let's step the right foot between the hands. Low lunge. Lower the opposite heel down, come up, vira one, warrior one. Relax the shoulders, opening to vira two, warrior two. Relax the shoulders, relax your jaw, soften your face muscles, soften your gaze. And let's open the right palm of the hand up and reach with the right hand up and over the head. Walk your left hand down the left leg. Keep your right knee bent here, stretching the sides of the body. And back to warrior two. And let's lower the right elbow over the right knee, lengthening both sides of the body. If you feel ready, you can lower the right hand on the inside of the right foot and extend the left arm all the way up and over the head, lengthening. And let's bring both hands on the inside of the right foot. We're gonna level the hips here and find a twist. Right hand comes all the way up and come up into a twisted lunge. And let's reach with the left hand all the way over the head, walking the right hand down the left leg. And back to low lunge, bringing the hands on the inside of the right foot. Knee lifts off the floor and towards the right elbow. And back into chaturanga, one leg optional chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Moving through your vinyasa here and back to chaturanga and downward facing dog. Let's prepare for the left side. Left leg comes up, big breath in. And let's step the left foot between the hands, lower the right heel down on the floor, pressing into the outer edge of the foot and come up, vira one. Lift and reach all the way up, find a lot of length. And let's open into vira two. You can take a little wider stance here, extending the tailbone down, relaxing the palms of the hands, relaxing the fingers, yet being vibrant. And let's open the left hand up towards the ceiling and walk the right hand down the right leg. Really try to find a lot of length along both sides of the body, along the torso. Keep the knee bent. And let's come back to warrior two, and we're gonna lengthen both sides of the body and lower into side angle. keep the shoulders away from the ears. If you're ready, you can lower the left hand on the inside of the left foot, and let's extend the right hand all the way up and over the head, really lengthening, reaching and opening. Keep the chest open and the breath vibrant, and let's bring the hands down on the floor into a low lunge and a twisting lunge, bringing the left arm up and come up into a high lunge with a twist. The left hand is gonna glide down the right leg, opening through the right arm all the way up. And slowly coming out of this, we're gonna lower both hands down on the inside of the left foot. And let's lift the knee off the floor, squeezing it into the left elbow and back into upward facing dog. Chaturanga, exhaling into downward facing dog. Pull the belly in and up. Inhale, right leg comes up, and let's step the right foot between the hands, lower the left heel down, come up, warrior one. Tailbone extends down, hands over the heart, warrior two, relaxing the shoulders, looking forward. The right knee should be exactly above the right ankle, and let's lower into side angle. You should feel a lot more open than our first side angle. If you do feel ready for a bound side angle, you can reach underneath the right leg and clasp your hands behind. If you're clasping, look over your left shoulder. Try to lift your chest away from your leg, so you're not putting weight on your leg. Your sides are working, your core is working. And you can unclasp the hands, bring both hands down on the floor into low lunge. And if you're ready, you can lower your elbows on the floor, deepening the stretch, stretching the hip flexors here and the quadriceps, as well as the hip on the right side, as well as the hamstring on the right side. Breathe and hold. And let's step back into plank. Holding plank, bring the right shoulder over the right hand, side plank. You can modify your side plank here. Make sure to lift the hips. Whichever variation of side plank you're doing, always keep the hips on top of each other and lift it. And lower down, chaturanga, upward facing dog, back to chaturanga, exhale, downward facing dog. Coming back to the breath, and let's inhale the left leg up and between the hands. Inhale, coming up into warrior one, and let's bring the hands over the heart, widen the stance, warrior two. And let's bring the left elbow over the left knee, or bring the left hand on the inside of the left foot. Sink a little deeper in your lunge here, and either stay here or you can prepare for a bound side angle. Bringing the hands behind. If the hands find each other, clasp. And let's lift the chest and the side of the body away from the left thigh, using the core muscles to support you here in this pose, pressing into the outer edge of the right foot. Shoulders down, chest open, spine long, elongating the spine. And unclasping back into side angle, and let's bring both hands on the floor on the inside of the left foot. Press the back heel away from you. And if you feel ready for it, you can lower the elbows down on the floor. Bringing the forearms on the floor and stretching. Making sure the left knee is over the ankle and doesn't come over the toes here. Hold. Hold and breathe. Breathe into your hip flexors, hips, hamstrings, quadriceps. And you can slowly come back up. And let's step it back all the way into plank and side plank on the left side. Shoulder over the left wrist, hips on top of each other, lifting the hips high. The sides are steady, strong. Stretching and coming back to plank. Holding plank, strong plank. Inner thighs working, core working, belly working. Trying to stay present and aware of the breath. And let's step the feet out on the outside of the mat, on the outer edges of your mat. Holding plank. And step the feet back in together. And chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And back to chaturanga, and exhale back into downward facing dog. Spread the fingers open, lowering the heels, stretching the hamstrings, using Ujjayi breath. Let's come onto the tippy toes and jump your feet forward, coming into forward bend, and exhale, forward bend. Breathe into your hamstrings here. Let your head be heavy, trying not to support the head here so the neck can relax. And let's come up and bend the knees, chair pose. Sink deep into your chair. And let's bring the hands down on the floor, preparing for crow. If you're ready, lift one leg or both off the floor, squeezing the knees in, feet are squeezing towards each other, lifting the hips as high as you can, looking ahead of you. Belly in. If you can, jump back into chaturanga or walk back into chaturanga. And upward facing dog. Back, second chaturanga, and back into plank. Let's bring the left leg behind us, coming into wild thing, and back into side plank or star side plank, and plank. And over to the other side, we're gonna step the right foot behind us and lift the hips as high as we can. Wild thing, lifting to come out of this. Come back into side plank and lift the right leg off the floor if you can. If not, just stay in side plank. And back into plank. We're gonna work on our abdominals here, keeping the belly really strong, firm. Inner thighs are working towards the midline. And let's bring the right knee in and left knee in towards the elbows. Right knee in, left knee in, right knee in, left knee in. And you can take a break in child's pose. Allowing the breath to return back to normal. Inhale your hands back up. Before we get all too relaxed, let's get back to working on the abs and plank. And let's draw circles with the right knee here, drawing really big circles, touching the elbows, both elbows here with the right knee, and over to the left. Draw a really big circle, and again circle with the left knee. This is great for the abs. And one more time, right knee, circle, right knee, really drawing circle. Last one. And left side, circling, drawing a circle with the left knee. Last one, big circle. And step your foot back down, chaturanga, upward facing dog, back to chaturanga, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up, and let's step the right foot between the hands, coming up, warrior one. Let's open the arms out, straightening the knee, keeping the legs straight here. We're gonna reach all the way in front of us, preparing for triangle pose. When you're ready and elongated, you can lower your hand down either on your foot or on your shin bone, or if you're very open today, on the floor, trying to keep the length on the left and the right side of the body here. Opening the left hip, spinning the left hip open towards the ceiling, opening the left rib cage. Relax the shoulders, lifting the kneecaps up, lifting the arches of the feet for the footwork. And let's bend the right knee and come into side angle and reaching in front of us. Lower down, low lunge, plank, upward facing dog, moving through the Vinyasa, chaturanga, and downward facing dog. And let's inhale the left leg up, step the left foot between your hands, bring the back heel on the right side down, and come up, warrior one, sink in a little deeper into your warrior. Reaching the hands over the head, and let's straighten both legs. Left foot is pointing directly forward. Reach with your left hand all the way in front of you and lower your left hand down somewhere on the left leg or on the floor. Trying to keep the length through the torso. Opening the right hip, spinning the right hip open towards the ceiling, extending the tailbone down, maybe even pressing your hips forward to find some more length into the spine. And let's bend the left knee down, coming into side angle, and you can reach in front of you with one or both hands if you're ready for the challenge. And let's bring both hands on the floor and back, stepping into plank. Strong hips, strong core, strong shoulders here. Looking a few inches ahead of you, let's jump the feet out on the outside of the mat and back in and out and back in, out, back in. Take a quick break and we're gonna do the same thing again, just a little faster. So we're gonna jump out and in and out and in, out, in, out, in, and a little break, and even faster now, coming into plank, and we're gonna jump out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, and take a break, downward facing dog. Or take child's pose if you need to. Otherwise, jump your feet between your hands, coming into forward bend. Exhale. In Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Hands over the heart. Inhale, hands all the way over the head. And let's clasp the hands and reach over to the left, keeping the shoulders in line above each other, and back to center and reach over to your right, really lengthening the left side of the body, opening and finding space. Back to center, lift. Let's open the hands out to the sides and prepare for a tree pose. Bring the right leg up and open the knee out, bringing the foot into the inner thigh, and lift your hands all the way up, pressing the foot into the left thigh. If you can, look up, challenge your balance here, or bring the hands over the heart. And let's bring the knee forward into our rib cage and bring the left hand on the right knee. If you're ready, you can reach back with your right hand and maybe even follow with your gaze. And let's bring the right hand on the right knee and the left hand out, opening the right knee all the way out to the right side. You can look away from your knee here. And let's bring the knee back up and transition into warrior three, bringing the right leg behind you. Open the hands out to the side and slowly bend the left knee down and straighten it. One more time, bending the left knee and come back up. And one last time. Let's reach in front of us, lower the hands on the floor and walk the hands back towards the left leg or the left foot, either holding the leg with one hand or just holding the floor. And here we're gonna jump all the way back into Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, back to Chaturanga, and exhale in downward facing dog. And let's look ahead of us and jump the feet forward, coming all the way up, hands over the heart. And let's prepare for an easy back bend here. We're gonna step the feet hip width apart. The toes should face forward. Walk the palms of your hands on the lower back here, extending the tailbone down as much as you can. Roll the shoulders back and down and lifting through the sternum. Look up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Keep the elbows as close to each other as you can. Press the hips forward. Keep pressing the hips forward. Keep lifting through the sternum. Slowly roll out of this, coming back up. And let's open the hands out and bring the left knee up. Left foot comes on the inside of the right thigh, and we're gonna stay here for a tree pose on the right side. Lift all the way over the head, maybe look up, challenge your balance. Hands over the heart. And let's bring the left knee forward, grabbing the left knee with the right hand, opening the left arm all the way back. See if you can look back towards your left thumb. Breathe. And come back up. Opening the right arm out, left knee out. Looking over to the right. And coming back up. Bring your leg forward and slowly transition into warrior three. Extending the left leg behind you. The toes are pointed down. Flexing the foot and pressing the heel away. And let's bend the right knee and straighten the leg. One more time, bending. Come back up and bend. And let's reach in front of us and lower the hands down on the floor. Slowly walk your hands hands towards your right leg, coming into standing splits. Lifting the left leg all the way up, or as far up as it will go. And let's bring the hands on the floor and jump into chaturanga, soft feet, upward facing dog, back into child's pose. Open your knees out and sit back into a modified child's pose for a few seconds here, allowing the breath to return to normal. And let's come up onto all fours. Bring your right hand palm facing up, underneath, gliding and lowering the right shoulder, the back of the right shoulder on the floor, looking up. This is a great twist here. Very detoxifying. Breathe. Slowly come back up, and we're gonna prepare to do the same over on the other side. Left hand glides under, palm facing up, the hips are over the knees, looking up here, allowing the shoulder to stretch. And press yourself back up to all fours. Let's lower the chest, lower the heart down towards the floor. If your chest doesn't reach the floor, that's quite alright. Just lower as far as your chest would go and stay in this modified variation of a back bend for a few seconds. And let's walk the hands back, coming back to all fours. Tuck your toes under. Cross your feet and bring your legs in front of you. We're done with the standing sequence and moving ahead with the seated sequence. Reach your hands all the way over your head and let's bend forward into a forward bend. Inhale, look ahead of you, straighten the spine a little. Exhale, follow a little deeper here. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, fold. Press the back of your legs down into the floor. Let's grab the right foot with both hands and bring the leg up. If you need to, you can use a strap here, pausing the video. Keep your legs straight if possible and look up. And let's bend the right knee and bring it under the right shoulder, opening the hip. And now we're gonna bring the foot towards the left elbow or the left hand and just cradle the leg here for deepening of the hip opener. And we're gonna bring the right ankle just above the left knee here. Inhale, reach over your head, and exhale, folding. Breathe into your right hip here. This is a great hip opener, challenging yet very rewarding. And slowly come back up, and let's bring the right foot flat on the floor. Inhale the right hand up, and we're gonna try to bring it forward and around, wrapping it around the right leg. If you can clasp your hands behind you, great. You can use a strap here as well, or grab the back of your t-shirt. Folding forward. The opposite leg, the left leg, is working and it's pressing actively down into the floor. And coming out of this slowly. Inhale, bring your hands all the way up. Exhale, folding forward, bend. And we're gonna prepare to do the same over to the left side. Grabbing the left foot with both hands or a strap and coming up. Look up. Keep your back straight and chest open, shoulders down. Relaxing the face muscles. Bending the left knee. Let's bring the left knee underneath the left shoulder. Press your leg back. If you're less open in the hips, that's quite alright. And let's bring the foot across. Holding the foot. Bringing the shin of the left leg into the chest or towards the chest. And let's lower down so the left ankle would come right above the right knee. Inhale, reach over your head and exhale, fold. The goal here is to allow the left knee to relax down. Breathe. You should feel this in your left hip, maybe even the right hamstrings. Just breathe. Breathe into the tightness. Allow your body to relax. Allow the muscles to soften. Inhale, coming out of this, and let's bring the left foot flat on the floor. Inhale, left hand comes up, reach way ahead of you and try to wrap your arm around your leg. If you can clasp behind, do so, and lower the chest forward. Continue with another hip opener. Let's bring the right leg down and the left leg above on top of the right, and we're gonna stack the knees on top of the ankles and the ankles on top of the knees. The shin bones are aligning here, creating a triangle between the legs. The shin bones should be parallel to the front of your mat, and you can either stay here or fold forward, deepening the hip opening. Inhale, come back up, and we're gonna bring the left foot on the outside of the right knee, folding the right leg in, bringing the right foot towards the hip. Prepare for a twist. Let's bring the right elbow on the outside of the left knee, and as you exhale, you're gonna go a little deeper in this twist, and as you inhale, you're gonna straighten the back, open the chest a little more. Look behind you. Relax the breath. And you can walk on your toes, walk the hands all around without lifting the feet, and you're gonna end up on the other side. We're gonna reverse the order here. Let's go for a twist first. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Look behind you. Deepen the twist. Let the breath be your guide. Before coming out of this, exhale completely. And coming out, we're gonna stack the right ankle on top of the left knee, allowing the knees to drop. Either sit here, stay here, or you can fold forward, or you can grab the flesh over the bones and roll the flesh down, assisting the opening of the hips here. If you can fold forward, stay in in a forward bend for a few moments. Try to keep the breath really relaxed so that the muscles are relaxed and you're allowing your body to stretch. Inhale, come back up. And let's shake the legs. Bring the soles of the feet together, opening the knees out into a butterfly, Baddha Konasana pose. You can stretch your legs one at a time and slowly reclining into Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining bound angle. Let's allow the shoulders to drop down on the floor, opening the chest, relaxing the neck, softening the jaw. Keeping the back of the head wide on the floor. And you can close your eyes, allow your knees to drop out and to the sides, stretching the inner thighs. Your belly is soft here, the shoulders are soft, softening the tongue, and begin to turn your awareness towards your breath. And let's bring the hands underneath the knees and bring the legs up. The feet are gonna be pointing forward. Prepare for bridge pose or prepare for wheel pose, Chakrasana. Let's bring the hands now underneath the back and press the hips all the way up towards the ceiling. Pressing into the inner and outer edges of the feet here. Either stay here in bridge pose or you can bring your hands by your ears and lift up into wheel pose, lifting the hips, maintaining the alignment here. Slowly lower down and roll back down slowly on the floor, one vertebra at a time. And let's bring the shoulders back down, hands on the floor. You can bring your knees into each other, allowing them to relax, allowing the hips to relax. And let's bring the hands behind the head. And we're gonna bring the right elbow towards the left knee and then the left elbow towards the right knee. And we're gonna do a few more of those bicycles. Let's bring right elbow, left knee, left elbow, right knee, really squeezing in as hard as you can. Keep your chest open. And let's reach in front of us, pressing the lower back down into the floor. Let's lift the right leg up and reach with your hands up towards the leg, keeping the other leg, the left leg, off the floor, hovering a few inches off the floor. Slowly lower down, right leg comes next to the left, bring the left leg up and let's reach and pulse up towards the foot, keeping the chest open, driving the movement from the belly and slowly lower down. Boat pose. And let's bring one knee at a time towards the chest. Right knee comes in, back, left knee comes in, extend. Right knee comes in, extend. Left knee comes in and extending. One more time, right, left, really squeeze your belly here. Right, left, and we're gonna come back down on the floor. Bring your mind to relax. Let's bring the right leg up, either holding the leg or using a strap. Lower the leg down towards your chest, extending the left leg down on the floor. And lift your forehead up towards the shin bone. Over to the other side, take the left leg and lower it over your chest. This is the last hamstring stretch for today. Lift your forehead up towards the shin bone. If you can touch, great. If not, keep working. With time, flexibility comes to you. And let's lower down, laying back on the floor, allowing the body to stretch and relax. Plow pose here. We're gonna bring the legs up, pressing the hands down, and we're gonna bring the hips over, coming all the way over the shoulders. Wiggle the shoulders and the elbows towards each other, and we're gonna bring the hands on the lower back. Stand, inner thighs squeezing towards each other. The toes are active here. Looking up, softening the back of the throat. Use your elbows for support. And you can play with it here. You can bring the soles of the feet together, opening the knees out to the sides. Slowly lower your legs back down on the floor behind you, still in plow. And to roll out of this, use your belly and slowly roll out of this, one vertebra at a time, keeping the legs as close to your belly as possible. And let's go into happy baby, holding the feet or the ankles if you cannot reach the feet. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Slowly lower your feet back down on the floor, coming back again to Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining bound angle pose. Allowing the chest to be open. Begin to relax each in every part of your body here. Allow the thoughts to just come and go, flowing like a river. There is no obstruction, no attachment. Allowing the internal dialogue to dissolve, to disappear, releasing judgment. Turning the gaze in towards the third eye and shifting the gaze even deeper in towards the heart. Becoming aware, starting to listen and to really hear. Hear the sound of your heart beating, reminding you of the present moment. Remain in this pose for as long as you find beneficial. Stay present and open. Open to the present moment. Open to the abundance of the universe surrounding you.